Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. We welcome all of you for today's morning program, Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Today we are very fortunate to have His Grace Pramod Prabhu, and Prabhu will enlighten us on Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th canto, 13th chapter, and the text 14. Over to you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. So, there is any singing of Radha Madhava, or I just put directly to the verse?
Some devotees do Radha Madhav and then go to verse. Some devotees directly start the prayers.
Yeah. Just 2 minutes, I can sing that Radha Madhava. Thank you, Prabhu. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari, Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari, Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Giridharadhari, Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana, Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana, Yamuna Tira Vanachari, Yamuna Tira Vanachari, Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari, Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Giridharadhari, Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana, Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana, Yamuna Tira Vanachari, Yamuna Tira Vanachari, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Jaya Radha Madha, Jaya Radha Madha, Radha Madha, Jaya Saraswati, Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Gauranitai, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayana Namaskrityam Naran Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langete Girim Yatkripatama Mande Shri Guru Dinataranam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Mishwaram Hari Om. Hare Krishna. Today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th canto, 13th verse, shloka number 14. Samstan vipannan sahi tatra vihaya jatam parigraha sartaha avartate dvapina kaschidatra virahadvanah param upaiti yogam tam stan vipannan sahi tatra tatra vihaya jatam parigriha sartah avartate dvyapi na kaschidatra viradvana param upaiti yogam. तां स्थान विपन्नं साहि तत्र तत्र विहाय जातं परिग्रह सारतः अवर्तते द्व्यापि न कश्चिदत्र विराद्वन् परम उपैति योगम. Translation. My dear king, on the forest path of material life, first a person is bereft of his father and mother, and after their death, he becomes attached to his newly born children. In this way, he wanders on the path of material progress and is eventually embarrassed. Nonetheless, no one knows how to get out of this, even up to the moment of death. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. In this material world, family life is an institution of sex. E Maitunadi Grahamedi Sukham. 7945. Through sex, the father and mother beget children, and the children get married and go down the same path of sexual life. After the death of the father and mother, the children get married and beget their own children. Thus, generation of generation, these things go on the same way without anyone's attaining liberation from the embarrassment of material life. No one except the spiritual process of knowledge and renunciation which end in Bhakti Yoga. Actually, human life is meant for Gnana and Vairagya, knowledge and renunciation. Through this, one can attain platform of devotional service. Unfortunately, people in this age avoid the association of liberated people, sadhu sangha, and thus and continue in their stereotyped way of family life. Thus, they are embarrassed by the exchange of money and sex. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Chalaka Chakshurunmilitam Mena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Pasyatya Deshatarine. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. So, Hare Krishna. So, Raghu, this verse and this chapter especially is a beautiful chapter, which one can take so much of cue out of this between Rahuguna's conversation with Jadabharat. So, Rahuguna conversation with Jadabharat was, as they say, it's eye-opener for all of us and for everybody. And to share on this verse, we will go to the purport on how Srila Prabhupada is saying, in addition to speaking the message, also connecting to the previous verse. So in the previous it says, money, family attachment and attachment to the objects that are supposed to bring the happiness, what they brings? It doesn't bring any happiness for us. It brings only distress. So attachment to some sense happiness, it doesn't bring any happiness. It brings only distress. So in this purport, Srila Prabhupada says, thus they are embarrassed. So thus they are embarrassed by money and sex. So But we see in this world, people are pursuing so many things. It is embarrassing chasing the temporary things. Okay, people are chasing for temporary things than a eternal thing. It is so. In this material world, the people are so much miserable. Why? Because they're chasing of sense gratification, temporary happiness. That's all. So Jadabharat actually in this is actually is perfectly situated in the position of soul within the material body. Of course, it is within the material body, and the king uh, is embarrassed, and the soul which is captured in this material body, attachment and everything which gets with body conception. We don't hear Jadabharat speaking to others. Okay? So because Jadabharat was speaking to, not speaking at all, he was like a fool, but he was a perfect devotee. And even Jadabharat was very like acting like a fool, and his other brother was very learned person. So his father was telling him to learn and they do so many things for Jadabharat, but he was not interested at all. He was acting like a fool because because he knew in the previous life what had happened for a Jadabharat. So he did not want any type of material and he wanted to only just be like a fool, but he was a perfect devotee, pure devotee. He knows everything. So Jadabharat and he's he's speaking to King Rahuguna. So he chose Rahuguna because there were so many other people who could not even his brother, he did not understand what Rahuguna, and he did not people also did not understand Rahuguna at all. But then one day he spoke to the king. So sorry, Jadabharat spoke to the king Rahuguna. So just an hearing. So when Rahuguna, when king was started to hear Jadabharat, so his anchoring was more and more and more and more to hear. Just hearing for the first time, he got with them. He wanted to hear more and more. And though see the material world, he knew about all the material world, and it was embarrassing for the soul. So king was being instructed by Jadabharat. So just having Prabhupada says that a statement that I am an envious of Krishna. That means we are in this body, we have a flag. What is the flag? That the emperor, because we are trying to become a devotee, we want to serve Krishna, but instead of that, we have a flag. What is this flag? Because we are in bodily conception land. The flag is that I am envious of Krishna. So that says that the flag is only the envious of Krishna, that it is embarrassing that in the body we are not able to, in this material body, now the soul is not able to think about Krishna. So there is a long list of others embarrassment. The lust is practically endless. There are so many things in this material world for endless material activity, which is nowadays, which is the one with the most is the internet. So many things to deviate our consciousness. Maya is so much powerful. So it is emphasized to go the sense of attachment without understanding the consequences of attachment. Material attachment is there because of slackening of attachment to the Supreme Personality of God. Because we didn't know who is the Supreme Personality of God. We did not know what is the purpose of life. Why I have come here. We did not know what is the purpose. People do not know actually. So just like an analogy, when we are looking towards the sun, sun is there, we are looking towards the sun. What we see when we see the sun? We see the sun, the light. When it comes in the bright light, it comes. When we turn our back, when we turn away from the sun like that, we see what we see that it sees only, we can see only the shadow. That's all. So we cannot see the light, we can see the sun's shadow. There is no light. So there is in this material condition, it's a shadow. Shadow means what? It is the absence of Krishna. Krishna is there, but we see only the shadow. Where one sees the shadow and accepts it as a reality. This material world is what? It's a perverted reflection of the spiritual world. But we accept the shadow as the reality and turns to enjoy the shadow. We are thinking this is as a reality and we are trying to enjoy the shadow. That's all. But the point of this purport is that we don't know properly. Even if they see, even some people tries to get some knowledge to turn to the God. Some pious people try to turn to the God. They raise their senses to enjoy there also. What? Because why? Because we want to enjoy in this material world. They're asking for the God. So many things that I want this, I want money, I want wealth, I want good wife, I want so many endless this one. Even the pious people. So, but it is better than mode of ignorance and passion. It comes to the goodness. But one who wants bhakti, they can be lighted, ignited. So Prahlad Maharaj says, the shadow happiness of the Lord enhances only the shadow of happiness. So what is our real purpose? The real knowledge is our eternal position as servant of the Lord. Everything is meant for him, how to utilize the senses in the service of Krishna, in the service of the Lord. That is what our real position is. So one who situated in the devotional service is very, very rare. Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschidate siddhate yatadanapi siddhayam kaschid mam veti tattvataha. So it is very, very rare one who becomes situated in devotional service. People doesn't know, even when we came to Krishna consciousness, we did not know actually what is real devotional service. So Srila Prabhupada very nicely, he gave in us a very, like just for feeding in a spoon. He gave in a very nice manner to practice bhakti. So there is also two verses from Srimad Bhagavatam. Previous Rishabdev instruct to his son in two consecutive verses. So he says that when there is a fruitive intention, I want to enjoy the objects of the senses in seeing the family and money. So in this verse also it is connected that Rishabdev says in two verses that to enjoy the object of senses in seeing the family and money. But Prabhupada says sex and money, seeing it as an enjoyment. So it covers the mind. It covers the mind. We cannot pursue the spiritual life because it's always we see in this material world as a money and only sex. Prabhupada says that. It covers, and when the mind is covered, nothing can be seen. One sees only the foolish things, not inquiring about the absolute truth. That I am a spirit soul. The reality is, nobody knows that Atma Tattva. who I am, my real identity, my eternal identity. We are the servants of the Lord. So when one is influenced by material conception of life, to inquire about the spiritual conception of life, about spiritual identity, one is ignorant. One is very ignorant. People are very ignorant to ask about it. As long it doesn't inquire about the spiritual values of life, then and subject this only miseries arising from the ignorance. As long one is not inquiring the spiritual values, what are the spiritual values? That why I am suffering. At least we should identify why I am suffering. So one Prabhu was saying that when we're doing the Srimad Bhagavatam class, he was explaining about so much we are suffering, we are this, we are that, and so much we are suffering in this material world. And when Mataji raised the hand, Prabhu, as you think, we are not so much suffering, we are not so much bad. So that means to say people are not realizing that we are suffering in this material world, because they don't know the values of the spiritual life, spiritual values of life. So one is defeated and subject to miseries arising from what? From ignorance. So even a sinful person, be it a sinful person or karma kanda person, pious person, the karma as the result. If we do the sinful activities, we have to suffer. We have to do the pious activities also, we have to come back to the material world. If a person is engaged in any kind of karma, his mind is called karma. So means he has to come back to take good or bad. We have to come back to the material life. So as long as mind is impure consciousness, impure, as long as one is absorbed in the fruitive activities, he has to accept another body. So this is what material world. This is all going on. Endless, endless material activities, endless material life. The more the material activities is done, the more and more we get entangled in material life, not understanding the spiritual value of life. So this, by like this, the conditioned soul is caught in the embarrassing situation. And in next verse, I told about the two words, and the next verse, it says, when the living entity is covered with the mode of ignorance, it does not understand that the individual living entity and the supreme living entity and the supreme mind is subjugated, and the mind subjugated to fruitive activities. And therefore, one is born. Because why? He is subjugated to fruitive activities. And therefore, when we are doing fruitive activities in the material world, we are again born again and again. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam. But one who has love for Vasudeva, who none other than love or Vasudeva or Krishna, is certainly not accept the body. Will not accept the body again and again and again in this material world. The time and memorial, we are taking this birth again and again in this material world because we are turned our faces from Krishna. As soon as when we turn to faces to Krishna, it is just like the analogy, Prabhupada gives an analogy that two birds are sitting on the same tree, and one is eating the fruit and another one is seeing, just waiting. And Krishna is just seeing that when he turns to him. As soon as the bird, that means as soon as the soul turns to Krishna, Krishna is willingly ready to accept. So that is what the lesson of the life is, that they never learn anything. One learns that there is there is birth and death, and if we learn, it goes on and on. So the force of material nature is so strong, they just do it again and again and again. So in material world, we see the activities, the same activities they do again and again and again, from birth till death, doing the same. And after some time, they go to the job, work, marriage, everything. The same thing. Prabhupada says, people are working like mad, 24 hours a day, just like hogs and cats. Just for, from morning to evening, they work. They work like just like hogs and pigs, 24 hours. And the evening they come and they just do the sense gratification. And then again and again for the whole life and next life and next life and next life. Punas charita charitam, charita charvitam, charvanam. Punas charvitam. Charvite charanam. Means chewing the chew. Doing the same activities, chewing the chew, chewing the chew. What is there is nothing rasa. Chewing that. So one devotee was saying that when someone has passed away in their house, the old person passed away in the house, he was saying that there was some fight started because of some ritual they wanted to perform, the other something like that. So after even the person has gone, all the ritual is being done, and also cremation is over and everything, but still the discussion continued. So many things. No, it should be done like this. No, it should be done like that. The fight continues and continues. And he was saying that he was so fed up in the house because he was only the devotee there in the house. So he was saying that same chewing the chew. The subject matter is nothing. After even the body is gone, even the person is dead, even the ritual is over, and still when the crematorium, the whole process is over. After that, still they're fighting. Means simply chewing the chew. What is the use of speaking all those things even after the body is left? So like that. So Jada is pointed at that here that should be how we can come to the real senses, means in our present is just to have sadhu sangha. So sadhu sangha means very nicely Srila Prabhupada, even though even before I coming to Krishna consciousness, I did not know what is sadhu sangha. I did not know what is a temple. I just used to visit some temple and just take some arati, put some coin in the undi or arati plate and just come back. That's all. Prabhupada says temple means knowledge, giving Krishna to others. So when I started associating with devotees, when I started coming to the temple, association of devotees, then I knew that is the real summons. What is the sadhu sangha? What is the purpose of the temple? What is the purpose of devotees? It is not just coming to the temple, just sitting and that is what we have to hear about Krishna Katha. So hearing is very important. That is why Prabhupada stresses about sadhu sangha. So Prabhupada has created the whole world in which everybody can live and can have a sadhu sangha. So in other part of Srimad Bhagavatam, Kapila Deva expresses to the devotee what is the sadhu sangha. The best of all the situation, the most fortunate of all things, he says, is to have the association of devotees. The best of all situation, the most fortunate of all things, is to have the association of saintly person. When Devahuti inquires from Lord Kapila Deva that you are with me now, my husband he already left, and you are also going to leave. I am also going to leave. So what is my protection? Because she is a devotee. What is my shelter? She is a devotee. Means sadhu, she needs a sadhu sangha. So we hear from Srimad Bhagavatam about so many verses, or Krishna says in other part of Bhagavatam also, when Krishna was leaving to Dwaraka, he instructed Uddhava. When he's already leaving to, and foreseeing that Kali Yuga is coming. So Krishna says, I leave this world. I believe after that Kali Yuga will come. It is very bad situation in this Kali Yuga. Kali will begin, and he says, I want you to be protected. Krishna is instructing Uddhava, I want you to be protected. How to be protected? Krishna says, you have to take the association of devotees of Naranayana. He was resident of Dwaraka. They were devotees of Krishna, instructed to take association of devotees of Naranayana. And second, he says there should be strictness in the austerity. There's a strictness in the opposite. Take association of sadhu. Then you will be protected. Association of sadhus, you will be protected. And there will be protection of senses when you are taking the association of sadhus. Now, of course, we know when we are doing so many other things in this material world. But when we come to the association of devotees, we were reminded of Krishna. We are talking Srimad Bhagavatam, or the other devotees made to remember Krishna and what is our real purpose of life. Now, when we do so many things, we go outside, and when we are out of association, then we really know what is the association of devotees. Now, just I got some small realization. So, even when we are going, earlier, I went to Yatra, means with some other people, not very much devotees. They may be there pious persons. So when we go to Yatra, we just see things and come back. We wanted to see that thing, this thing, so many things. But Prabhupada says, we can understand Krishna not through the ears. We can see Krishna through the ears. So that means to say, what I want to say is, the association of devotees is so much important. When we go, then I really understood when I went to the yatra with the devotees, my God, it was so blissful. Wherever we go in the yatra, we are hearing about the pastimes of Krishna. It is only about Krishna, what Krishna did, where was Krishna, what are the activities of Krishna, the Leela of Krishna. What a wonderful thing. That is what real yatra is, and that is what is the association of devotees. Then I came to know this, I understood that the yatra means we should go with devotees, or we should have the association of devotees, and service in the dham. What is the service when we go to the dham? Is hearing the Krishna Katha. Do some service in the dham. That is what is real service when you go to the dham and with the association of devotees. And what is the benefit of taking the association of devotees? The senses is controlled, and the strength of that devotion is the Supreme Personality. Where the strength will come from that devotee? Because he is the devotee of Krishna. Without the association, it will be very difficult. The force of the material attachment is very, very strong. Because we cannot be alone. We cannot, in this Kali Yuga, it's very, very difficult to practice Krishna consciousness. If you be alone, there's so many things is going on, But when we are, we are with the devotees, we get the strength. The example is, the analogy Prabhupada gives is the bundle of sticks. When there is a bundle of a single stick, no, it can be broken easily, just broken easily. When there is a bundle of sticks, all the sticks together, it cannot be broken. It is very, very strong. That is what this association is. So, austerity with the same saintly person is the way of life. And what we have to do, when we get the association of devotees, then helping others to remind them of the Krishna, that is another austerity. How? By achar and prachar. So this is what we have to do. Our acharyas are told, what Prabhupada has done, the same thing. Helping others to remind of Krishna. So when Prabhupada went to America, he was preaching to the all hippies. They don't know what is Krishna, who is Krishna. He only reminded of Krishna by speaking the pastimes of Krishna, Harinama Sankirtana. And what we know, what all the austerities of Prabhupada we took for preaching Krishna consciousness by Achar and Prachar. So here Jadabharat is doing with Rahu. Same thing, he is instructing Rahuguna. That is the greatest act of kindness. What is the greatest act of the kindness? To preach and give Krishna to others. So, in this material, we are so much engrossed in earning money, wealth, wife, children, so many things. So, it is punas charvita, what I told is that. So, one example is one story I've been reminded of, that there was a businessman. So that businessman was always hankering for money. And the son, the little son, he was a devotee of Krishna. So meanwhile, one pilgrim, he wanted to do a yatra. So he came begging to this businessman. And the son of a businessman, he told the pilgrim that my father is very, hankering for money, a very stingy person. So somehow you please convince him to go to the yatra, take him to the yatra. At least he will understand what is spiritual life, or he will be changed in consciousness. So somehow he convinced, the boy also convinced, and the pilgrim also convinced to go to the yatra. And so he started going with the pilgrim. The father, somehow he was convinced and he went to the yatra. So he took to the yatra, he took to all the other places, temples, but there was no change of consciousness of this business person. Then what happened? Then finally he came to the crematorium, and this businessman, he saw so many bodies, burning in fire. The body coming every 1 second, every 1 minute, so many bodies. After seeing the bodies, he started crying. He started tears in the eyes. Then the person thought, oh, this person had change in consciousness. Then he wanted to, out of curiosity, he inquired, what is the changes consciousness? How you felt? What was your thinking? You were having the tears in your eyes. Then the businessman said, all these years I'm a cloth merchant, wasting simply the time which I was doing my business. Then this pilgrim, he was thought, oh, there is a concept, change of consciousness. Then again he continued that there's so many bodies are burning. If I would done the business of selling the wood, I would have made a lot of money. And then he thought, oh, this person is useless. He is always hankering of achieving the should. This is what the material people are. So, so Srila Prabhupada is explaining the nature of this material world. The people are absorbed in material life, sex life. So now it is so degraded. But actually, little they know, because it increases the only body conception of life. The reality is that they don't know that we are not this body at all. The reality, they don't know. So people are really convinced that they are this body in this material world. Therefore, what is the real? This one purpose? Spiritual life encourages to give up all the material activities and sense gratification. So, brahmachari, grihastha, vanaprastha, and all these four ashram, only grihastha is there is a sex, and people are, and Shastra says age of Prabhu.
By mistake somebody unmuted, Prabhu. You continue.
Okay. So it is not an easy thing to do if he is a material person. But if one takes up to the spiritual life, Krishna consciousness, then it can be given up easily. So here, lust is compared to iron, and love is compared to the gold. So actually, no, people are fed up after, if you see that. But and so I know the real purpose is looking for the gold. What is that? The love. And what is the love? There is no love in this material. Love is, it can be within the two living entities. That is, the real love is Krishna and us. That is the real. But all over the world, people are looking for the pleasure. But if they know that Krishna is as a Paramatma in the heart, if they take a little step with this one, and he knows what is the real love for Krishna, real life, he knows. So Srila Prabhupada in this purport say that no one accepts the spiritual process of knowledge and renunciation, which end in bhakti yoga. No one accepts the knowledge and renunciation. So therefore, actually human life is meant for gnana and vairagya. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came and to teach us vairagya. So he is very, very magnificent incarnation in this Kali Yuga. Gave the Krishna easily to everyone. The whole purpose of this society is to become detached and attain the spiritual knowledge. So this verse goes on to say that the material the sense gratification is just an itch. What will happen when we scratch? When there is itch, if you scratch, you want to scratch more and more. When you scratch more and more, what we get? No, there is the skin breaks and the blood will come out. But what we have to do? Better to tolerate the itch. Itch in any ashram, we have to tolerate, whether it is brahmacharya, grihastha, vanaprastha, and sannyas. Tolerate. So why so much of struggle? Why so much of suffering? Because we are the center point of all. This is only the sense gratification. That is the root cause. Therefore, one should understand that it is said that jab tak भगवान के लिए हम रोते हैं, तब तक इस दुनिया में हम रोते रहेंगे. That means when we learn to cry for Krishna, otherwise what will happen in this life? We'll be crying all throughout of life. So once it is Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj, my Guru Maharaj, he says that we have to cry for Krishna, cry for Krishna. When when we are not crying, that when we are not crying for Krishna, again we have to cry that we are not getting the cry for Krishna. So this is what we have to do. And in Srimad Bhagavatam, it's a beautiful prayers of Vritrasura from 11:22 to 27. Vritrasura prayers. How to anchor for Krishna. So he gives three analogies. So the analogy is, one analogy is that the baby bird in the nest, it is sitting. When the mother bird goes out, it is flapping and shouting and chirping because of the anxiety. When will the mother bird come? When will the mother bird? It's keep on. It is so fearful, this one. And when the trees of the leaves, when it is shaken, oh, it thinks, oh, my mother is come. She's come to feed me in the mouth so that I can eat. So the bird is hankering for the mother. And Vritrasura is thinking that, oh, I should be like this. Then again he says, no, this is not the way. Why? Because it is anchoring for the food. The bird is anchoring for. And second analogy is like Vritrasura says that it is the calf. The cows goes for grazing and the calf is tied. Many people might have observed this. That when the cow comes after the grazing, the calf jumps. It wants to go to the mother. It jumps and goes to the mother. Why? Because the mother has come and I have to suck the milk and drink the milk. It is waiting for when its mother comes and it feeds and the calf sucks the milk. This is how Vritrasura thinking, this is how my hankering to Krishna should be there. Then again he thinks, okay, this is not only one. And the third analogy is that, and a very chaste wife and husband, when the husband goes out to the work for a long time when he goes out, then the wife is thinking always about the husband. Oh, when is he going to come? What is he doing? What is he eating? How is he managing all the things? And when is he coming? Are you going to cook for him? Are you going to make nicely for him everything? So she's thinking all the time of her husband. And she doesn't think when she comes he doesn't come for a long time. He doesn't think, oh, when is I'm getting the jewels, when I'm getting the sari. She doesn't all the things. She's thinking only when the husband comes, I have to serve him like this. I have to feed him like this. Like this. She's always thinking about the husband who is left home for a long time. And Vritrasura says, yes, this is how we anchor for Krishna. This is how we anchor for Krishna. So, and even one story of, I think, in 5 minutes, I'll end it with this story. So in 1972, Veeraswamy, a Chief Justice of that time in Chennai, Prabhupada visited, that's one Mr. Veeraswamy. He was the Chief Justice of the place. So at that time, Prabhupada had all his disciples, association like Shama Sundara and Malati Mataji, very senior disciples of Srila Prabhupada. So then Srila Prabhupada met this Veeraswamy. And when some person meets Srila Prabhupada, how that person cannot be a devotee? So then Prabhupada met that Veeraswamy and he was seeing that small girl, Shamasundara and Malati Mataji's, I think, daughter, Saraswati, a small girl, Saraswati. So when he was, Prabhupada was also always attached to the disciples, and he knew that to make Prabhupada happy, and he was also attached to the Saraswati, who this Veeraswamy. So then he got a gift. The gift is the 6 inches Krishna, silver Krishna to Saraswati, and Saraswati was so happy, running around everything, and she was playing with that Murti Krishna. And Prabhupada, when Veeraswamy came next time to Prabhupada, and Prabhupada said, "Look, this silver Murti which you are given to Saraswati, it is very expensive, and it is very I'm going to give the similar Murti to Saraswati, but not this silver Krishna, because it's very dangerous. It attracts thieves and rogues." So then, by the time Prabhupada was saying that, this small girl Saraswati, oh, she come and she was crying, "Where is my Krishna? Where is Krishna?" She was crying. And Prabhupada said, "See, look, I have kept the Krishna under the pillow." Saraswati ran under the pillow and she was searching for Krishna. And Prabhupada, "I don't have Krishna here." She was crying, "No Krishna here." Then again she came. "Okay, you see in that, in the shelf, I have kept Krishna." And again the girl Saraswati went, "There is no Krishna here in the shelf, Prabhupada." She come running. And then Prabhupada started this song. "Ye Radhe Vraja Devi ke chalalite Nanda suno kuto." Means the Goswamis of Vrindavan, the Goswamis of our Acharyas have said that. He is explaining to Veeraswamy. This is how our Goswamis are searching for Krishna. "Oh, hey Radhe, where is Radhe? Where is Lalita? Where is Krishna? He's in Vrindavan, he's in Govardhan." They're anchoring for Krishna. They want to see Krishna. This is what our Acharyas have taught us, to anchor for Krishna. Anchor, where is Krishna? So he was saying. And then, and Prabhupada, that Saraswati came running again, and he said, and all the devotees were watching. And Prabhupada and Saraswati, they asked, "Where is Krishna?" And she knew, "Prabhupada has got Krishna." Then everybody was starting, the Haribol. And real word means, then Prabhupada knew that she was anchoring, and he took out the deity and gave it to Saraswati. And Prabhupada has Krishna really to give us. So in the song also, Narottam Das Thakur gives very nice song that Gauranga Bolito Hobe Pulaka Sharira Hari Hari Bolite Nayane Babinira Gauranga Bolito Hobe Pulaka Sharira. So it says, when will that opportunity moment come to us? When there will be shivering of the body as soon as we chant Gauranga's name. Gauranga Hobita Pule Pulaka Sharira. So Naratan, so like this, our acharyas have taught that very beautiful song in the songs, that how to hanker for Krishna, how to get love for Krishna. So our acharyas have set the example and given us the way to hanker for Krishna and perfect our life. So Srila Prabhupada has given us the pathway how to love Krishna and who is Krishna. And he gave Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is the merciful incarnate, Sri Gauranga and Nityananda, his most merciful form. We get Krishna in this love of Krishna in this Kali. How to love Krishna. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has come as a devotee to how to love Krishna, how to hanker for Krishna. So he's given this easy process of how to love Krishna. So our as a devotees, of course, I'm also trying to chant the holy name of Krishna, be in the association of devotees nicely, and get the most benefit of this bargain in this material world. So one is that we're learning that we have to take the association of Krishna as uh, to Uddhava when he was living Dwarka, and the austerities how we have to do in this. So the austerity of what is the real austerity is we have to give Krishna to others. We have to take Krishna and give to Krishna's further. So when we have to create such environment to give Krishna, because people will not take up Krishna conscious so easily in this material world. So we are all trying to preach little bit how to get a conditioned soul, how to get a soul to our Krishna consciousness, our ISKCON movement. So we know how difficult it is. Prabhupada said we have to we have to shed tons of blood to get one soul to get Krishna consciousness. That's how difficult it is there. So when devotees take up Krishna consciousness, we have to be very careful, and we have to be careful also to protect our devotional service as well as their devotional service. So we see yesterday how much devotees have come to our temple, for first day of Sharat Purnima. So somehow or the other, they're coming to the temple. We have to make that way, or to look how to preach them, and they have to be how convinced in Krishna conscious, and they also take up Krishna conscious and practice. And in that process, Krishna and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also will be very, very happy with us, and we also get, not that we know everything and we want to preach everybody. Yes, we have to be merciful by preaching to others. Our Krishna consciousness definitely it be strengthened only by giving Krishna to others, or only by preaching to others about Krishna, about the activities of Krishna, and how they can be happy in this material world. And by the end of this life, back home, back to Godhead. That's how the final goal of life, real goal of life. So, very, very nice verse in Srimad Bhagavatam. So many things are there in this Srimad Bhagavatam. But when we read Bhagavatam, every verse is one of the others is every verse, everywhere it is witness how Srila Prabhupada has given this purport. He writes in the purport. Amazing and mind-blowing. Or else it is very, very difficult in this situation. We cannot understand what is Krishna consciousness. It is, at least I would never think of, if I had not come to Krishna consciousness, we could have practiced Krishna or Bhakti. No chance. So this process of how we got Krishna conscious, how Prabhupada has given us Krishna conscious is really wonderful and amazing. And Prabhupada has given innumerable number of activities in ISKCON. Maybe it is a book distribution, it is a deity worship, it is a chanting, so many things, so many varieties are in devotion. Because Krishna is unlimited. Krishna's service is also unlimited. That no person cannot say that I did not get no service, because Krishna is unlimited. His service is unlimited. Any number of innumerable service we can do for Krishna. So I think it's time up. So thank you very much. Hare Krishna. So any comments or any addition? So sorry, something if I spoken wrong, please forgive me, and please pray for me, so that I also progress in Krishna consciousness. Any comment or any addition, please let me know. Continue. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity. And Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji, like for wonderful and nectarian class. Like the starting statement that you made was, this conversation is the eye opener for all of us. So really, like you opened our eyes, like how we are completely entangled in this temporary sense gratification, and then further getting embarrassed every, I mean, time to time. And also, like, I mean, you have stressed so much that, like, to realize that, okay, we are suffering in this world, and then you have given the solution how to go beyond the suffering. Like, main thing that we focus, you stressed on that is the sadhu sangha is very, very important, and without that, it is very difficult to practice. And with the example of that woods bundle of sticks. So if we are together, then we can easily come out of this sense gratification. Otherwise, our material desires. Otherwise, it is very, very difficult. And then how we are entangled in this, like Punarapi Jananam and Punarapi Manam, because of our sense gratification, we are completely taking birth and death, and cycle is continuing since time immemorial. And then you mentioned with the example of two birds sitting on a tree. So you have told like how one bird is always seeing Krishna is very hankering to see us, like to do the devotion service. And then how, I mean, you mentioned also the Panav Charitam, this chewing the chewed. So and then also like Jadavartha says that like with sadhu sangha only we can come to real position. And this is what, and also like throughout you have very much, and how to hanker for Krishna. So with the nice example of like Vritasura's three analogies. So one is that baby bird waiting for the mother, just plopping the birds, and then second one is calf waiting for a cow, when will it get the milk, and the third one like chaste wife waiting for a husband. So always thinking of her husband's comforts and wanting to serve him better and better. So this is how our consciousness should be, that like we should always hanker for Krishna and to serve him and his devotees. And then with the example of how like Saraswati like searching for the Krishna when not found that silver murti of Krishna. So similar like we should be. I mean, how this is how our Goswamis are searching for Krishna, and we should always be searching for Krishna. And then Narottam Das Thakur say, I mean, singing that Gauranga Bolite Have. And then also how this Acharyas have set the examples how to anchor for Krishna. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also personally came to set the example and also to tell us how to anchor for Krishna. And then you said that like this can happen more when we take Krishna and give it to others, then our hankering will be strengthened more and more. And then Krishna gave, I'm sorry, Srila Prabhupada gave everything to us to practice Krishna consciousness. We have to be very sincere and serious in practicing and giving the Krishna to others. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you so much. You summed up very nicely. And thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you, Prabhuji. It was really eye-opener. Like, and it is both ways, like how we are suffering in the material world. Like we immediately realize that we are suffering, and then you are given a solution. And hope, like, please pray for us, all of us, so that we'll start practicing sincerely. Krishna, devotees lines are already unmuted, so you can ask any questions.
Krishna Prabhu, Dandavas Pranam.
Dandavad Mataji.
Prabhu, being KC is like a full-time job, Prabhu. Like one after the other, we keep it and we'll be engaged. I think this point of the life, it is very important.
Yes.
And Prabhu, I want to ask you one thing. In the beginning, you said, how to know why we are suffering, Prabhu?
Mataji, in this material world, as I said, people don't know how we are suffering. When Maya kicks so hard, sometimes we we realize, yes, that is we are suffering. But the second thing is that only a devotee can see, Baba, you are suffering. So he says how you are suffering, why you are suffering in this material world. So a real sadhu can say, what is your life? After all, without Krishna, you are just anchoring for the material world, and you are being kicked by Maya. So sometimes Maya gives so much of tests, and yes, everyone will understand at one point of time, because after many births, you can understand. So in the material world, if whether it be a devotee or non-devotee, is very well. Dukkalayam ashashvatam. So it takes time, but definitely there will be a change of heart that we have to, that if we are getting little Krishna consciousness or we are practicing Krishna consciousness, that it is our duty to give Krishna to others or to say that you are suffering. We will get to know much.
But you know, when we come to temple, we forget everything. We just don't think about anything. When we are in the service of the Lord, you know.
Yeah.
Totally, it is blissful. Like.
Yes.
Thank you so much for the wonderful, especially you have covered Ratharath's prayers, the thing. Prabhu has also enlightened. It's very nice, Prabhu. Thank you so much for the wonderful class.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Any other?
Dandavat Pranam. Sorry, Prabhu. Hare Krishna Prabhu, it's a wonderful class. Thank you so much for giving us so many analogies and also quoting how Prabhupada made Saraswati to show that how Saraswati is anchoring for Krishna, searching for Krishna. And I really like the points of the examples what you mentioned of this Vritrasura Prabhu, about the birds, about the cow and the calf, and about the wife. So how they'll be waiting for the waiting to see Krishna. So it was a really wonderful, Prabhu. It was a real eye-opening also. And very nice, Prabhu. I feel very lucky to hear all these classes every day in the mornings, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. I thank all the devotees. Please pray for me, Prabhu. So even we should anchor for the Lord like this. I don't know when the day will come. Waiting for that. Okay. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thanks.
All are clear, Prabhuji. I think we can end the class here with Vaishnava Pranama. Vancha kalpataru
Kripa sindhu bevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namaha. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Thanks all devotees for being attentive. And tomorrow again we'll meet at 7:15 in the morning. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.